it. I don't know how your interface works. Like, because I know you're hooked up to the mics, but I don't know if Discord also picks up the soundboard. So I guess we'll see what happens.
We'll find out when we play the sound.
So if I say start the show, Krista, and you don't hear any music, trust me, it's playing.
It's there.
Okay, I believe you.
And then you'll hear me go, "Hey, here we are, and welcome Diddly D."
But this is just the pre-show show.
He doesn't even know that.
We're live. Hi, everybody. In the typing square.
Oh, we're not. You're not on camera yet, Eric. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So we get to chill out. This is essentially the green room chill out time. We wait 5 minutes or 5 people.
Well.
And then, then we'll go live. We'll just sort of chill, just hang out. Green room sort of hang out.
Well, you said green room, so
partake of the muffins.
I take that literally.
Cherish says, "Oh, I can hear you now." Yeah, well, yeah.
Cherish, welcome.
Diddly D, Dave, says Vathis.
Diddly D.
I can't wait until he says, "Welcome, Diddly D."
Jesus.
That's what Kayla said.
Hey, everybody.
My mom's here. Hi.
Let me turn off my phone so it does not suck up any of the Wi-Fi energy.
I turned my Wi-Fi off.
I don't want its chi interfering. Plus, I'm a professional.
Consummate.
Oh,
Green
boy.
room means 0 carbon footprint, right?
Yeah, net neutral. Guys, full disclosure, I'm really excited about this show. I think it's going to be great.
Full disclosure.
And not for nothing, but like we've had some great guests on the show, but never have we had a technically inclined guest who's also talented in music. So that's why I'm extra excited. We always make do with the technology at hand, but Eric's a consummate himself. So
yeah, I've got a $20 bottle of beer. I'm ready to do this.
$20 whole he spent on that beer, people. This is
it like really big? Is it like a
big.
45?
Is it a 45? Well, maybe a 40.
It's 750 milliliters.
So it's even fancy. They don't even use ounces. Milliliters is for the rich.
Yeah, they got no time for that shit in Belgium.
Mm-hmm.
Kayla wants to know, but are you diddly D excited?
I'm diddly D excited. Let's just go ahead and start the show. Hit the thing, Krista.
Okay. Hey.
You're listening to FFOP Radio.
Reach the
Hey, everybody, and welcome, Diddly D. My name is Dave, and this is another live show. Happy Flamingo Friday, everybody. I've got my flamingos on. I hope you do, too. Let's get right into it, guys, because screwing around only gets us nowhere. Please welcome. We got Eric Daniels on the show. You heard the podcast. Now you're seeing him live. And you're also seeing Krista.
Oh, my God.
So I hope you have seen, I'm talking to the viewer at this point. I hope you have seen the music video for Mothman is Real. You've had time. The links have been established and disseminated. So boy, oh boy, I've been hitting your album hard since we recorded the podcast to really sort of refresh myself. So if I wanted to, I could get all intellectual and pick your shit apart live on air.
Ooh. Do it. I dare you.
And I can too, because they're and full disclosure, what I don't know, whatever. Like I'm such a fan. We made the intro music. Now is going to be Sloth Fist, so it's not like I'm giving you an unbiased opinion.
Well, I think that makes it more biased.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It is the most biased opinion you could probably get. Like if someone were to be like, "Is this ethical what he's doing?" I don't know. It's a gray area because I'm just simply a fan. This is a biased opinion, and I'm admitting that up front. I gain nothing, but I am biased. I will tell you. But super awesome album. Like I was doing it expressly for research, and found that after I had finished taking notes, I kept listening because I was like, oh, whoa. Because when it comes up on random, like when your album comes up on random on the little jukebox I have out on the stereo or whatever, I'm like, yeah. And then, the random takes over. But when you listen to the whole album from start to finish, it's so fun.
That was the plan the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
we didn't want it to be a boring record because, I like a lot of boring records, but I like the ones that aren't more.
Right. Because here's what I was expecting because of how I was raised. I was waiting for that boring love ballad or that slow song or that one where you take yourself too seriously, whether you're self-aware of it or not. And there's not there. It starts and it's like a freight train and every car is a different crazy color, but it's like, and it's insane.
Yeah, we don't have time to take ourselves too seriously. We're a bunch of old men playing punk rock, Like,
yeah, I love that one of your songs has the term dickweed in it.
yeah.
What?
It's one of my favorite songs. And I don't know if you want to be self-aware about this or not, but the only reason I stopped to because I wanted to bring that lyric up, but now I have to point out that you rhyme credit with credit.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nice.
no, so yeah, you are self-aware of it, and that's why I like it all the more.
It is two different tenses of the word credit, though.
Yeah,
my credit.
Yeah, it is a homonym. So that's how you can get away.
So
with
I'll allow it.
Yeah, but watch yourself, McCoy, please. Yeah, but Mothman is real. I could pick apart as an existentialist lesson, like a Zen lesson. But you don't need that because because it's all about it's basically let go and let the Mothman take the wheel. It's so much fun. So we talked about the sort of origin of that song on the podcast already. So give us a little more background into FFOP. I feel like there needs to be something there.
Yeah, I feel like there's something else that you're not telling us.
Yeah, we
Oh, there's a lot more about FFOPs that I'm not telling you, and some of it will never be told.
No, but I need a little more. Because when you watch it, it's exactly as the story you told me. So the story was translated perfectly into this music video. And I have to think that there were more Mothman encounters and more stories that we now need to sort of crack into.
Well, we'll say I have had 5 near-death experiences in my life. And all 5 of them were sitting next to FFOPs.
Okay. Most of us only get the one. So,
oh no.
no. Now, are we being not for nothing? I, for one, have been accused of being a tad hyperbolic. Now, give me one of these instances, so I can sort of give me some context. Is what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, we were God knows where we were coming back from. We had played a show back when him and I used to play in the same band, and we were coming back. It was 3:00 in the morning.
It always is.
And we didn't stop partying after the show. And I'm not condoning drinking and driving. I am not condoning it, but it happened.
What?
It happened a lot, especially back then. And it was my job to sit shotgun when he was driving because he was 3 shifts the wind. But he was good at it. He was the best drunk driver I ever knew. I got to give him credit where it's due.
Yeah.
But on this one particular instance, we were driving, and he's just kind of zoned out. I think he's passing a bowl around in the back seat, and he's just coming up, going 80, coming up on a car that's going 40, and I have to reach over and pull the wheel to zoom around it.
Oh my God.
And that happened more than
rolled. Maybe the Mothman was there too.
Oh yeah.
he might have been. This dude is touched by an angel. He can't. I think he might be immortal.
Okay, here's the thing. This very concept has come up on this very show. So he is a god of probability. There have been gods of probability before. Historical ones include George Washington and Wyatt Earp. So your friend is simply, by virtue of coincidence, a god of probability.
I cannot say no to anything about this man. He just he is unknowable. He is unfathomable.
Yeah, and those people they move in and out of our lives like ships in the night. And all you can do is watch as they sail away and hope, as they dodge literally every bullet and disprove everything you've ever been taught. That's what's so frustrating about them. They're an enigma because they do everything that everyone tells you not to and get away with it all cosmically.
Oh, yeah. And God bless them.
Yeah, because they remind us that there's an extreme on every scale.
Oh, absolutely. And the world needs it just to it's the yin to something else's yang,
yes, because if you don't have an extreme weirdo on whatever scale you have, you need to have someone on either side making you remember where the middle is and where to stay far away from.
Or sometimes, you want to skirt around the edge yourself.
Right.
Just
it's like a football
sometimes you got to
field.
flirt with disaster.
Yes. So, sometimes you want to be like, you know what, today I'm going to wear a sweater instead of my punk rock t-shirt. Or some days you say, hey, I'm going with no underwear because that's what's up. Two small
That's
examples.
every day.
Yeah, same spectrum. You can make that your everyday thing.
Kayla says, gods of probability sound pretty dicey to me.
It's legit. Like, if I ever have another band, we will be called Gods of Probability.
That's actually a pretty cool band name.
Yeah,
Because they exist. George Washington was a god of probability. Look into anybody's charmed life because they always survive everything. And you think, how? And it obviously has to happen because coincidences happen, and it is entirely possible. You can flip a coin 50 times and get 50 heads. That's George Washington, except in the teeth. He got tails that time.
Yeah, well,
Woof.
You win some.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I would gladly trade all of my teeth for literal invincibility against bullets. Like if every time you come back after a battle, it looks like you're wearing a Swiss cheese coat and nothing touched you, you're like, well, I'll give up the teeth.
Yeah, even trade.
Yeah, no doubt. Slam dunk. So, Eric, we did not talk about this before the show because we were dealing with technical difficulties. So, how many songs are you feeling like giving us tonight?
How many you want? I know a lot.
I know. So what I want to do is sort of space them out evenly. So if you are ready, willing, and able, I would like, so let's do one right now.
Okay.
Do you want to take requests or are you just going to go random?
Yeah, I'll play a song.
All right, let's do that. But eventually the typing square might want something specific.
Well, I've got it pulled up over here, but you had your chance. We've been talking about it. We've been talking about the Mothman, so I'm just going to play that one.
I mean, come on.
Because it also works. There's a few of them that work a little better than others for a man with a guitar.
Right.
So this is one of those.
All right, here we go. Let me switch your thing over here really quick and get my face out of the way. Oh, crap.
And also, all these songs are going to be slower. Just
yeah, it's like
that's undoubted.
It's a live thing, man.
I don't want anyone coming in. Well, if I'm playing live with the band, we play them faster most of the time. But just me standing here like a dick.
Yeah, we're stripped like a dick.
So I've still got distortion because I'm not that lame.
Yeah, we're punk rock. All right, so hit it whenever you're ready, man.
All right, goes a little something like this. I got a drink and a cigarette. My fucking life is such a wreck. Someone's gonna pay the price tonight. Got these and I hit the gas. Swerving hard and I'm driving fast until the beast to the light. And don't you know that the Mothman is fucking real? And that's the truth, that's just the way I feel. I'm too buzzed, so Mothman, take the wheel. Let me live to drink again. Fuck! Yeah, the Mothman's fucking real! Doing 80 by your residence. Raising lawns is my evidence. That someone might not make it tonight. Watch me as I hit the ground. You got a kick, I'm already down. On chaos, the Mothman's known to thrive. Don't you know the Mothman is fucking real? And that's the truth, not just the way I feel. No, I'm too buzzed to Mothman take the wheel. And let me live to drink again. Underground where the Mothman sleeps, such a hallowed place. In the lair where the Mothman feasts, the terror of my face, a base who feeds my chaos, the food of rational thought. Could he show pity on me? No, of course not! Now you know the Mothman's fucking real. That's the truth, that's just the way I feel. I'm too buzzed, so Mothman take the wheel. Let me live to, let me live to, let me live to.
Oh man. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, so if you were expecting an acoustic version, I did not expect a pulling of punches, even though it was going to be slow.
No. I can sing one way.
Like, it's an amazing coincidence that I just happen to have this disgusting quarantine hair at a time where, like, I'm now like diving back into Sloth Fist, and I get to like do actual head banging with all this disgusting crap on my head.
So
Well, not a problem I have.
I know. I used to do that, and now I'm trying to do this to see what happens.
I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Oh, I have an answer, perhaps.
Probably.
Definitely.
How often do you lose your voice after you do a show? Do you ever?
Rarely.
Did you used to?
Yes. Oh God, yes.
It's like a muscle.
When I first started singing in this band again, it had been a long time since I was the singer.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would shit my voice after every rehearsal, every show, every time. Sometimes, and it wouldn't even make it till the end before it shit the bed.
Nice.
Yeah, it was definitely because I because I was putting it on in the big stereo in our living room, and Krista goes, "That's what he sounds like singing." Like every time we hear you come up, I don't think she makes the connection
Nope.
that that's you. And then we heard your speaking voice, and then when she intentionally had to tie the two together, she was like, "Huh?" I was like, "Yeah, isn't that crazy?"
Like, wait a minute.
I'm like, "That's his instrument. Everybody has their flavor of instrument, and it fits with what we're okay." So because there's a riff that you have in one of these songs that I keep hearing over and over in my head that I've heard somewhere before. Hopefully it'll come up because it's completely fallen out of my head because all I can think about is the Mothman song right now.
Yeah, well, that means I did my job. So hooray for me.
What else is going on, man? We're here to chill out. What do you do aside from, if there is an aside from music? Do you split your energy into any other hobbies?
Yeah, I play Dungeons and Dragons because
yeah.
I clearly look at me.
Right.
Of course I do.
Yeah, nerd alert.
Actually, I'm even. Let's see if I can get it on this camera.
We're taking a trip. What are we seeing here?
So taking a trip.
Everything here. These are books for various role-playing games that I do, and there's a bunch of beer over here that you can see on top of my fridge. So that's cool. A little tour into. Past that, I just play a bunch of guitar. I clearly, I like herbs.
Mm-hmm.
I like.
I
like bottled plants.
Let me ask you this then: have you played the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game?
I have not. I don't tend to go for like horror themes in my games in general. Just because they tend to be a little more slow paced and more like based in realism. And when I'm playing a game like that, I want to and I know that sounds weird, like ancient horrors being more realistic.
Right.
But when I'm playing, I have like a sanity meter and I have to worry about going insane. I'm just opening doors and walking around, and then an evil god comes out and devours me, and that's it.
It's not everybody's cup of tea. But if you want to run into a room with a big axe or a sword, Lovecraft is not your ticket.
Yeah, I'm trying to throw fireballs and do dumb Dungeons and Dragons shit.
So tell me what's your species? Like, what's your character?
I've got a bunch because I play in a few different games, but I like playing druids. They're probably my favorite class.
So why is
they
it?
can just turn in.
Okay.
They can turn into anything they want to, basically, like any kind of beast, just kind of on a whim. The bunch of goblins come up and they're like, "Well, fuck it, I turn into a giant bear and eat them."
Okay. Yeah.
And that's neat to me. It's fun and it that's not something I can do in real life, so it's a good escape from the boring computer shit I do all day.
Everybody wants to eat goblins, and it's interesting to because I totally get that, but because I'm not well versed in Dungeons and Dragons, so I cannot accurately pin people down to the various archetypes. But I would have, if you got into my head, I would have called it as a barbarian. Like, your character is a barbarian, like a big dude, huge sword, screaming, going into berserker mode and slicing through. But druid, I also get that too, because you like the mystical stuff and obviously with the Mothman. So I should have put a flavor of supernatural on there.
Oh, yeah. Well, magic is just way more fun than just swinging a sword. And then that's fun too, but casting a spell on someone's always going to be cooler.
Yeah, and you've got a lot of those characters that get to walk the line, that get to use magic, but instead of going fireball, you turn into a giant monster and kill something with your bare hands. Mm-hmm. So it's best of both worlds.
It really is, though.
You're roided out on mana.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So give me, what's your least favorite class in Dungeons and Dragons then?
Honestly, probably just fighter, just because it's boring, it's right? Good. But it's boring. They just shoot their weapons or sling the sword, and they can't really do anything past that.
It's so weird.
It's fine, but we need fighters. But
yeah, because here's the thing. even in a game that hinges on you having an insane imagination, the ability to accept, another person, there is still a slot in there for a person who doesn't want to think. Like, you're escaping to be a soldier, to be a worker bee, but that's just my opinion. Like, if you're a fighter, no magic, no husks, no fuss, no coconuts, right?
Yeah, and some people just like the experience of rolling dice and like watching imaginary enemies die because of it.
Yeah.
And that's good enough for some people. And I'm not trying to knock on those people's fun. Please, like
you need
a good D&D party has a fighter.
Yeah.
So like someone needs to play the fighter. It's just not how I want to play.
Right, because that's the thing. That's why there's umpteen zillion different characters. Because if it was like,
Absolutely.
who wants to be the blue elf and the green elf and the yellow elf? And you go, well, what the hell are we doing here?
Yeah, and there's so many flavors, and everyone can put their own spin on it. And you sit and you play what makes you feel good to play, and everyone just has fun together. And that's the real part about it. It's camaraderie and it's storytelling, and it's using your imagination, and it's creating something at the same time. So it ticks a lot of boxes for me.
It flexes all of those muscles because a lot of people's fear is getting up in front of people or improvising or thinking on their feet. And Dungeons and Dragons, if you can, like Krista, if you can do the Dungeons and Dragons thing and not fall into the pitfalls of the average, like, oh, you play D&D and you can't interact with normal society. Like, you can turn those like charisma points from Dungeons and Dragons into real life charisma points, and bam, because you're still pretending in real life essentially. Like, if in your imagination you can be a druid in real life.
Mark says I've always liked paladins.
Yeah,
he
holy
misses
warriors. Ironic, Mark.
playing Dungeons and Dragons.
But they've got cool magic though. Like I get paladins.
The one time I dabbled, I was like Dragonborn, I think it was called.
I think so.
Dragon.
A long time ago.
Dragonborn is Skyrim.
Half dragon person, whatever the Dungeons and Dragons dragon.
Maybe they are Dragonborn too. Hold on, I've got a player's handbook right here.
Please consult the literature.
Maybe a fighter would be the first thing that I should choose to start.
Yeah, because it's nice.
Fighter or barbarians, like that's how you break people in.
Yeah, and that's.
Oh, it is Dragonborn. How about that?
Bingo, swish. Dave's right again.
Yeah. Anytime something lines up with Skyrim, I just assume it's wrong because it usually is.
Like those cat people. What's up with that?
Yeah, they're Khajiits, but they're. I forgot the name. Someone in one of my campaigns is playing a cat person, and I keep calling him a Khajiit, but he's not a Khajiit. There's a name for it in D&D, but I'm not going to look it up.
Isn't it strange that Khajiit sounds like cat shit a little bit?
I can't help but feel that was at least a little intentional.
Yeah, and the dog person's called the Dajit.
We just call him the heckin' good boy.
Oh, man. Like, Dungeons & Dragons is one of those things that I look at and can admire and respect because it's easy to dismiss people who play Dungeons & Dragons like everybody else who has a hobby that you don't like, video games, whatever. But, you're gaining something from it if you're using it properly. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing about a hobby. There's no intrinsic value to playing golf.
Right.
There's no intrinsic benefit of collecting stamps.
No.
Like whatever the hell your hobby is,
right,
it doesn't have to have value. It just has to make you feel good. That's the whole point of a hobby. It's your time, and you should feel good about the way you spend it. And whatever the hell makes you feel good, fucking do it.
But you're humans want to put things in two boxes like me. They want to say, is your hobby physically exertive, so you're getting healthier, or is your hobby building value like stamp collecting because those are worth money? If your hobby is a third thing, like working on your imagination, people go, what the hell? You're not getting anything out of that. Because
those people can get bent.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. It's so easy to dismiss because they say, oh, well, you're playing as you're fighting goblins? How ridiculous. And then you say, okay, so you collect small pieces of paper with glue on the back that were meant to send a piece of paper from you to somebody else. And instead of doing that, you kept it?
Yep.
Cool hobby, whatever. Because if you look at anybody's hobby and you tell them exactly what it is, it sounds incredibly stupid.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can make anything sound asinine if you break it down to its rudimentary, terms.
Yeah, because when you're listening to music, it's a series of notes and a series of pauses strategically arranged. Congratulations, you've strategically arranged sound. Yay.
Hey, congratulations, you moved air in a pattern.
Woohoo, nailed it. But you don't say it like that. Because it's completely cutting off the legs of the thing.
Right.
Because
Like,
Dungeons & Dragons is fun. I don't care who you are. If someone says, play Dungeons & Dragons, and you allow yourself, it's...
yeah.
I've
don't
played
have to
Dungeons
be
and
in it.
Dragons with a bunch of people who have never played it before.
Mhm.
And I have never had someone leave a Dungeons and Dragons table and be like regretting that they did it. Even if they never want to do it again.
No.
Because like people still enjoyed the time that they sat there and did it.
It's therapy. Here's what it is. When you go into a Dungeons and Dragons thing, the stakes are removed from real life. So you get to be your true and real self. You get to make the decisions you want to make because it's under the guise of a character. So maybe it's inadvertently building you as a person, even if you choose to ignore it, because you can take those same decision-making skills. So everybody loves it because you get to be yourself for even a little bit, even if you don't want to come back because it's weird. You get to be yourself as a goddamn druid or whatever, which is insane.
Yeah.
Think about it.
And sometimes you get to do things that you just can't do in real life, like kill
Like
your
being
boss.
a druid.
Turning into a giant werewolf, killing your boss, slaying whatever.
Or someone like cuts you off and you punch them in the face. Like, like things that you wish you could do in real life, but you can't.
Yeah.
Like as much as I would love to throw a fireball on someone, just like not getting any real consequences for being a dick.
Yeah, but it's cathartic to go into a zero stakes situation, transform into a giant werewolf, and like Batman v Bane, break someone over your knee.
Yeah, it's
because there's zero stakes.
It's therapeutic. Yeah, it feels great because sometimes you die when you try to do things like that, and that's fine.
And it's
part of the experience.
Yeah. That you let go and let the Mothman. That's my new catchphrase. My old catchphrase used to be "Don't be a weirdo." Now it's clunkier, but let go and let Mothman take the wheel. Maybe I'll make it longer. No.
Yeah, just say let Mothman take the wheel.
Yeah, that's what I was about to land on that. So my new catchphrase for this show is "Let Mothman take the wheel." Let go and let Mothman. Praise Mothman.
Yeah. He might help you out, he might not, but at least then you can say, well, that was his fault.
Yeah. Or just hey, that's real. Oh man. So now, one of the other things that we talked about that I want to maybe crack into a little bit more is the truck driving aspect.
I was waiting to see
Of
how
you.
long it took for David to bring up your truck driving experience.
Ah.
32 minutes.
Well, because I wanted the Dungeons and Dragons thing seemed like a gold mine at the time, and it was. So now the truck driving thing, double clutch, yeah or nay?
Mm-mm.
No?
Automatic. So I had it real lucky. I didn't drive like an 18-wheeler.
Okay.
Basically, have you seen like a big rider truck?
Okay.
Like the big box trucks, but still four wheels?
Yeah. They're like 24 foot or whatever.
Yeah. That's what I was driving. So I didn't have to sleep in the motherfucker.
Okay.
My company had to get me hotels, which often sometimes weren't much better. But I didn't have to sleep in a fucking truck because I'm 6'3". And those trucks wide are like 5'10".
Ouch.
But you got all the back.
Yeah, that back is still 5'10", and I'm still 6'3".
I mean, can't you just open the trailer and hop up on top of whatever you're hauling? Just get an air mattress.
I don't know if you've ever tried to sleep on a wood crate. It's not particularly comfortable.
No,
also, there's no AC back there.
That's true.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I both of those experiences I have had. Don't ask me how, but I have.
Yeah, I've unfortunately experienced those things too, which is why I know that you don't do it.
That's zen. That was very zen.
Yeah,
So-
sometimes simply put is best.
See, because the idealized, like, romanticized version of the truck driver is like the full cab, like with the curtain and the little bed back there where you do all your coke and you have all your lot lizards and stuff. I don't know. I don't want to say like I'm a little disappointed, but I am a little disappointed because I want to see you.
Most people are.
In my mind's eye, I want to see you in a nice Peterbilt. Like a blue Peterbilt with the classic flames coming out the front, with the sleeping compartment, and you go
The spikes on the wheel.
yes, maybe a little Mad Max, because that's you. That's your like punk rock persona.
And then the lights over the lights on the top that make it look like it has angry eyebrows.
Yes, come on, man. So next time when I say, "Hey, what'd you drive?" that's what you say. It's a little late
Sure,
now.
because I will remember that
In
Absolutely.
the future.
This is live.
Yeah, this is live. But in the future, if anyone asks you, just bullshit them.
Take two. No, shit.
So you drove what?
So you were a truck driver.
Yeah. But okay.
I had a clown car that I had a little hitch trailer behind.
Perfect.
So Kimmy, what was the longest trip you went on? Like, because obviously if you're sleeping overnight, it's multiple days. So what are we talking
Yeah.
biggest?
My longest trip was like 2 months
Whoa.
where I didn't come home.
Wow.
So-
That sucked.
Yeah. So are you literally just doing a circuit of the country? What's going on there?
They would the company I worked for, they would import like CAT scan machines,
Okay.
and it would be my job to go pick that up and take it to the hospitals and like uncrate it, and then they would take it in.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Like the CAT scan stuff, that is in the same vein as the X-ray, possibly. Like, is there radioactive and/or hazardous material that you're around like crazy?
Oh no, it has to
Not
be
when it's
on.
plugged in. Or
Oh,
no,
yeah.
it's not
Yeah,
plugged
yeah.
in.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm just making sure that's not a medical device. That's like, because there are devices out there that are like, oh, there's a little piece of plutonium in there, so be careful.
Oh no, nothing like that.
Okay.
They're just massive boxes, and these boxes were meant to be like airdropped.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was just my ass back there with the crowbar trying to open these things. Like you're
Nice.
supposed to have a team of 4 to open them.
Here you go.
It was like
No, army of 1 right here.
in my mind's eye, it's like the ending of Raiders, where all those crates, and it's just you in the doorway. Your shadow is cast across the thing, and you're like, shit.
Holding a crowbar.
Yeah. With your crowbar in your hand.
Yeah, and I can't even just like whack the things to get them open, which is what I wanted to do, because there's like 2 doctors standing right there, and that's like a $3 million piece of equipment.
Yeah, those are pricey.
Oh man, yeah. So again, so you're just on a circuit, or are you like?
No, it's so whenever a hospital anywhere on the eastern side of the country, for the most part, would order one of these MRI machines or CAT scan machines or whatever the fuck it was, big medical equipment. Because I delivered for a company called Siemens.
Yeah, they make a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
ITE.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
They do indeed. But that's where my
It's also
shipments came
hilarious.
from. Yeah, it is. So that stuff comes from Germany, and they ship it here to like the closest like international port to that place. So I would have to go to that place, pick it up, take it to whatever hospital had ordered it. So it wasn't like I was always going here, here, or here. It was just like wherever I happened to go. And it might have been in Kentucky. It might have been in West Virginia. It might have been in Chicago. It might have wherever
But
the
you
hell
had
it
to
was.
start from the same point every time.
Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
I came from Texas. So that's
Yeah.
where I live. So
yeah, so
they,
you're just basically
a lot of times
rebounding.
a lot of the times though, they would like fly me up somewhere
Hmm.
and like send me to get a truck there,
Mm-hmm.
because we would just rent Ryder trucks because they were good enough for
Yeah.
what we needed. And you didn't have to deal with upkeep when
Yeah.
you were renting them.
Yeah, there's a dude down the street from us who's a truck driver, and he's got a pretty nice.
He
big-
has the exact truck that I described. He has
Yeah.
a blue Peterbilt, but it's a single cab, not the big sleeper cab, I don't think, with the flames and yada yada yada. But like
He's
the
always
road,
washing
the
it.
Roadrunner and the Coyote are on the side. He's one of those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you knew how much those damn things cost, you'd know why you want to keep it looking nice.
Oh, I know. Yeah. If you're gonna drop $400,000 on something to haul a bunch of heavy crap, like I would customize the crap out of it and keep it as clean. Yeah, of course, it's like a baby.
But to be fair, that's also his moneymaker because, like, yeah, it costs a lot of money, but it'll make him a lot of money.
and you live in the damn thing, so it's like your house.
Uh-huh.
But here's a little thing. Here's a little real life tip to yours truly from yours truly. Siemens makes good equipment in all forms and facets. Like when I was an electrician, we always installed Siemens stuff because of the quality, and we don't. Screw
I believe
around. You don't screw around with electrical.
No.
But since it did come up a lot, and everybody in the trades is fairly lowbrow, there was a lot of repetitive jokes.
Look, I've heard them all. I promise.
Yeah, like you can only hear a box of Siemens so much before you're like. So I tell you what, Eric, if you're ready to if you're primed and ready to go, let's hear another tune. And I didn't want to interrupt you the first time, but your guitar was a little lost.
Okay, I'm gonna try to Actually, what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna turn this microphone like
bingo.
sideways.
Yeah.
How does that affect how you can hear me?
You sound fine.
Is that fun?
Okay. I'm also gonna turn the guitar up.
Yeah. Remember, people, this is live, and we have done zero testing. You're seeing a raw punk rock performance. Live. Starting in 3.
Could you hear both of those things?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna try that out for now. This song, let's do a pop song.
Nice. Oh, we're gonna do okay. I don't want to call it. Let's just do it.
Oh no, tell me what pop song you think I'm gonna play.
If it's off of your album and you're gonna say pop song, I think it's Nesterday.
It wasn't Yesterday, but I can play Yesterday if you would prefer.
No, because it was a coin flip between that or another one. So go ahead and play the one that it's gonna be anyway.
Yep. And I know both of them. It's fine. But no, this song's called All I Know. I'll tell you this all this time. It's gone on for too long. We keep on arguing about who is right and who is wrong. Maybe it's a tragedy or just a comedy. It's overwhelming all of me. Am I too blind to say no? What the fuck is going on? All I know, life's passing by. I don't know what the fuck is going on. What's going on? Yeah. A stinking septic breeze, it gone on for too long. I have to ask myself, who will pay for all this crap? Maybe it's a comedy or just a tragedy. Life is just the best of me. I don't even get to see. I don't know what the fuck is going on. All I know, life's passing by. I don't know what the fuck is going on. What's going on? Yeah. And some of these songs are also shorter because
yeah, that I was like, oh yeah, because the guy who does all of your guitar work in Sloth Fist is so varied and proficient. I love it all. I love the solo for pretty much every song, but Mothman is Real is nice and choppy and visceral and nice. I don't even.
So there was 3 people who played solos on that record.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
That solo was Matt.
Mm.
He is our longest running just guitar player. Alex played one or two on the record, and then I played the rest.
Nice. Yeah, because you can tell each time this song starts and you get the flavor, and you say, okay, because like Nicotine is way different from Lycanthropy, which is way different from yada yada yada. And so yeah, each one has a different flavor, and they're all I'm trying to find the word. The only way I can describe it is like the feeling when you bite into a nice steak. Like there's something there to get your teeth into and hold on to. Like they're short. I wouldn't want to say they're overcomplicated, but they're beefy and they're meaty and there's something that holds on. You know what I mean?
Well, that was always the point. Like we have a bunch of us and we've got different backgrounds. We've got different influences. We have different techniques even.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that all of that's represented because even though I don't play technically an instrument in the band, I have at several points in the band, but I don't at this juncture. I'm just the singer. But my guitar playing is still very impactful on some of these songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what I'm trying to get at here is if you haven't listened yet, I'm trying to get our viewers here to sort of get what is going on. I mean, you can pick it up when you're playing it, obviously, but since it changes flavor literally every 3 minutes or so, it's hard. I know we're not going to get, it's like walking into a Baskin Robbins and saying, one of everything, please. Like you don't have the time.
Well, that's exactly the concept behind it, because why should you just get one flavor?
Exactly.
Like, no, get as many flavors as you want. And we want a lot of flavors. And we just we go down the soda machine and we just press 2 at a time and go down. And we get something unique. And, we throw out some songs because they're maybe a little too unique. But, a lot of times you find something brand new that you've never tasted or heard before.
Right.
And that's kind of what makes it cool. And that's what I really love about this band.
Yeah, it's so easy to, I don't know. It's for me anyway, it's easy to tell when the musicians involved care or when they don't care. Like it just seems natural that when I hear music, like if the people singing it are the people who wrote and then, grew it, great. I love that. And I can feel it when it's there, but I also love Cher in certain spots. I also love Rihanna in certain spots.
Yeah.
But I always come back to bands like Sloth Fist, always come back to bands like Farsight, always come back to bands.
Farsight is dope.
Farsight is dope. Like Your Favorite Trainwreck, all that stuff. I always come back to those because they're the more character. I listen to Cher when it's on the radio. Like I won't intentionally turn it off, or if I'm in a supermarket or somewhere in public and it's playing, I just won't sit there and be like, because I'm like, yay in my head.
Yeah.
But I intentionally go after the people who are invested in that stuff. They didn't hand over a check and say, hey, thanks for this song. Now I'm going to go learn it.
I'm not going to say that you can't write good songs that way.
No. I wouldn't say that.
Where you have like 7 people who wrote baby, 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 baby.
Right. I had a baby.
But sometimes, you get a good hook by having 7 old stuffy white dudes in a room writing a song. But I think more reliably you get better results with, a couple of people that just are playing from the nuts, so to speak.
Because money will get you music that hits the ear like silk, but love will get music that hits your heart like a hammer. Like it's nice to have your ear tickled every once in a while, but it's better to feel good. Like if you feel good about yourself, you go, oh, whoa, that's great. If someone's like diddly diddly dee, you go, oh, stop, that's fun.
Well, like Popeye wrote a song in a parking lot before an interview.
Yeah, and
I forget what song it was off the top of my head, but
he and Eric here are a craftsman,
right?
You're not even a craftsman, you're a journeyman, because a craftsman is somebody who has a craft, and you're a journeyman who has put in the time and energy and skill to get a mastery of this shit. Like, and it tells, because the people who write the songs for the people who don't write the songs are just like you. They're doing it. They may feel the song, but then they sell it because they know it'll sell.
Yeah, I was hoping it would, but I haven't gotten to that point yet.
Don't worry about that because you're doing it, and
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm for all of you watching too. Don't worry about that shit because it doesn't. You could say, "Oh, whoa, a bunch of nobodies like me, and I got a bunch of thumbs up." Who cares? Mothman is Real is one of the best albums I've heard this year. I've not heard many albums, so it's not saying a whole lot. But last year too, I'll throw in. I'll throw in last year as well.
I'll stand behind that. I've recorded a lot of records in my life. I've probably been on 20, 25 records throughout the course of my musician history. Even more if you count shit that was never properly released. Shit that we would burn discs for people. I don't count that. But I've done a lot of records, and this is easily my favorite of all of them.
Now, I gotta ask you this because I kept going to the Sloth Fist on YouTube channel, and none of the videos are there, just the albums.
Oh, that should be the Sloth Fist channel should have all of our music videos.
Maybe it was denying me access to them for some reason, but all I could get was the 2 albums. So I've been, maybe
I'm going right here and looking.
If I'm a liar and it's maybe it's my interface and I have to accept that, but I wanted to watch the video, but I have to go back to the link that is on Facebook. Not
Sloth Fist, 72 subscribers.
nailed.
Oh yeah, big time. Uploads 1 day ago. Sloth Fist, Mothman is Real. 9 months ago. Sloth Fist, All I Know official video.
But when I log in, it shows me none of those. Krista, do that right now and give me some backup.
And I want you to know, just so you're aware, I am not the admin for the Sloth Fist web presence for the most part.
Still, you're my only portal into the band and its various workings.
Wait.
All right, let's look at this.
Oh.
6 videos.
You know what? I think my app was probably rerouting me to YouTube Music.
Probably because I see 6 videos on.
Guys, problem solving live is really interesting, and I'm glad you were here to see it. We have now solved the problem of me being too old for technology. It happened right here. We now have graphic evidence of me.
It's going to be all over the YouTubes.
Dang it. Now they're going to copy and paste this all over Reddit and 4chan. I'll be the next Chris Chan. No!
Oh, God, people still go to 4chan?
I assume. I have to imagine if it started on the internet, it still exists in some form or fashion.
God, please no.
Well,
that place is literally the butthole of the internet.
But it's so hard to say where's the butthole when you're inside a giant butthole. It's like trying to look at your own. You can't see your own head without a mirror. You know what I mean? You can't bite your own teeth when you're inside the thing. So why don't we hear another song? How about that?
All right.
Because I feel like I'm going to be getting carried away on things, and we're going to not get a lot of songs because I'm going to be talking a lot.
Was the balance better that last time? Should I change anything?
I think Discord is trying to balance everything, so we're losing a little bit. But it was.
Is there anything I could do to improve it?
Maybe in Discord you could mess with the settings if there's an automatic bar being adjusted. But will our audience accept that?
Mark asks, "Wait, have you not watched Q Into the Storm?"
Huh?
Mark,
Q Into the Storm?
Yeah. Mark, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, plus there's a delay, so that might have happened minutes ago.
Yeah. So anyway, here you go. Finally on my crap that got dread. Oh shit, no, that's not the right line to the song at all. Hold on. Oh god.
We're live.
I know this song. More guitar, he said, so I'm gonna give y'all more guitar. I'm gonna try this.
Yeah, I somehow like whatever Discord is doing to take over is like freaking out and trying to auto level.
Let's try this one. I feel just like I've been through hell now. I'm gonna come, I'm gonna fall. I'm gonna live the world and I'm working. God damn it, why am I fucking this up? This is like our second oldest song.
It's a good one. You know, just,
we play it every goddamn live show we have ever played.
Listen, you psyched yourself out. Now you're too much in your head. Let's take a step back. Let's talk about truck driving.
How was the levels there? Did we get better?
It's so bizarre because when you start playing, it sounds great, and then it'll go boo, and then you start singing, and it'll go boop, and I don't know what's going on. So
It's just Discord. Let's
yeah,
just blame
it's
that.
Discord's being funky.
Mark says it's an
me try
HBO Max documentary about Q, and it covers some great 4chan, 8chan stuff.
About Q, the mystical being from Star Trek?
No, I think they might be talking about QAnon. And QAnon can fuck themselves to death.
Oh, maybe.
But were we talking? I don't.
You were talking about 4chan, so that probably went down the rabbit hole.
Oh yeah, sorry. Things spiraled out of control back there. I apologize. And I lost sense. All right, so where are we? What do you feel like?
Let me just try something real fast. I'm just gonna sing like 3 notes. I got it on a clean sound. Let me just see if that makes any difference whatsoever.
Let's hear it.
Singing a song, singing a song, singing a song.
Yeah.
100%.
So here's the thing. I don't know how, but everything in your vicinity is affected by something that'll make you cooler. Your fan and the distortion. Both affect your audio quality. Both make everything cooler. Something is up with that.
So the clean sounds way better.
Yeah,
Yes.
way better.
Oh, okay.
So strange.
God damn it. Gotta play like a god blessed grandpa.
Yeah, remember the metaphor I was just making?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
God blessed grandpa, he says. All right, so let's hear it, grandpa.
I feel just like I've been through hell now. God, that song is just dead. I'm gonna do this one instead.
Okay, don't worry about it.
See, you get a couple hundred hands and it makes you sick. Cause you're a damn mighty fucking big piece of shit. Because you can't love doesn't mean others are the same. Otherwise you're looking for someone to blame. If you choose to hate a man for the consent in the dirty truth, I have one thing to say. Fuck you! See some proud people and decide to go into a rage. Well, lives matter. That's some stupid fucked up shit you say. You think genetics should be a great source of pride? History will prove I was on your side. If you choose to hate a man for the, cause he's a different you, I have one thing to say, fuck you! won't coexist. And when you're gone, I promise that you won't be missed. If you choose to hate a man because worship's different than you. If you choose to hate a man because he's a different you. If you choose to hate a man for the consenting to Tony screws. I have one thing to say, fuck you!
Awesome.
Nice.
What was the name of
Was
that
that
song?
better?
Yeah, way better. What was?
That song's called Choose to Hate. That's off of our first EP.
Yeah.
That was the literal first Sloth Fist song.
Yeah, available.
And so I'm not just too drunk or incompetent or stoned or whatever it is to play music. Something about Yesterday just does not want to live in my brain right now.
You know, you got to go with the flow. If the universe says no Nestor today, then no
I
Nestor.
can't explain it.
Oh my gosh. So, what other things did we leave hanging from the podcast that we need to tie up? We kind of covered truck driving. We got a little bit of the lot lizard stories. Do you have any more?
Most of them are about the same. Most of them. And I am, for the record, a very what's the right word? Monogamy. Wait, there's the
Monogamous?
Monogamous?
yes, I'm a very monogamous. I've been married for a long time.
Okay.
So I'm not trying to fuck with lot lizards.
Right. Yeah. Well.
Yeah. And a lot of the times it would just be someone coming up and like flashing their titty and be like $20.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. 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 That just,
See, I always
$20, $10, however much it was. I heard 7 once, which is a really weird
That's an
number
odd
to
number.
charge.
Maybe they
Yeah,
only
like,
had $3 and they needed 10.
sevens are lucky.
I don't have exact change.
Here's a 10. Keep it.
Ask
What?
for change.
But yeah, that's the crazy thing is like that these interactions have to happen and not being privy to them, like that is incredible and shocking. The fact that is the baseline activity of like, hey, we know what we're both here for. Here's a sneak preview. It's like a test drive almost.
Yeah. Well, I think that was their way of letting you know they're not a cop.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Because cops, I am told, usually don't flash their tits at you.
I feel like
probably
that's
see that.
probably for the best.
I wonder if
Probably.
I
But
wonder if like prostitutes this day and age use like a Square. They get the Square app on their phone and they're like, swipe your card.
I would. Like,
Or
I got
PayPal.
Zelle, I got Cash App. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
I'll give
why
you my
not?
email. You can cash at me.
That's the thing. Like humans are ingenious and they invent ways around each other's schemes and they make things easier on themselves. So if you're like, oh man, you don't have exact change or you didn't go to the thing, good news. I've got a Square. Give me 5 seconds. You have a PayPal.
well, all
you have
I'm
a-
going to say is my dope man takes Zelle. So I'm sure there are
Right.
hookers doing it.
Everybody does.
I
Come
got
on.
a Venmo.
Yeah. Like everybody is going to go with the path of least resistance. And if you're honest enough with yourself to be like, yeah, I'm a prostitute and I have a Zelle. Ding. Like, just make it easy on yourself.
I have a Zelle. It's just with my bank app. Like it just is automatic.
That's where she does all her prostitution,
Yeah.
Eric.
I mean, it's a smart game these days. Like, there's no chargeback on Zelle. Like, it's all figured out.
Yeah, you're never out of stock.
It's fantastic.
You can just tell
This is-
somebody just
the
be
future
friends
is
with
now.
family.
The future is now, and it is also then.
Send it as a gift.
Yeah, friends and family.
Yeah, you can get
They
a
don't upcharge.
yeah, you can get a McDonald's card, you can get a Burger King card when you walk into Walmart, or you can get like $50 off of me, something like that. Good Lord. Yeah, the future is now. I hope we get. Okay, here's a good question that I hope you can say yes to. Have you seen Altered Carbon on Netflix?
No.
Dang it.
I'm gonna be real with you. I do not watch a lot of TV.
I don't either. However, I read the books and I was compelled to watch the
And
series.
he's hot.
Joel Kitterman. That's not what I know talking about. Do you like sci-fi? If you like the D&D, does it also go into a sci-fi nerd area?
I do.
You don't need to prove it. Just say yes.
I've got I'm a huge Star Wars nerd.
Oh, no.
I was waiting for you to say Star Trek. I was
Yeah,
going to
Star
ask
Trek.
which one.
Boo.
Okay, but also Star Trek.
Thank you.
All right.
Let's
And
not
there's
mention
one
the
correct-
wars.
We will mention the wars.
How dare
Wait.
you? What the? Muhammad Ali, Pulp Fiction. What am I? Oh, I see. Yes, I do see our wars.
The war. That's all the bounty hunters from the Executor. Because I know nerdy shit like that, and I can name you all the goddamn bounty hunters on the bridge of the.
You have my 100% belief.
But also, since y'all are Trekkies,
Uh-huh.
TNG is the
Yeah.
only correct answer, and
Yeah.
I will fight
Correct.
anyone
Obviously.
who says
You have
anything
made
else.
up for your Star
People
Wars
keep
liking.
telling me, "Oh, DS9 and blah 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 blah." Yeah. TNG is where it's at.
The
Don't
name
give
of
me
the show is Star Trek. They don't fucking go anywhere on Deep Space Nine.
exactly. Like here's the hierarchy, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts. TNG, and these are all now subject to change based on your opinion. But for me, it's TNG, Voyager, Deep Space Nine, TOS. What do you say, Eric?
No, that's probably honestly right.
Switch.
Because I was thinking about it. I grew up on The Next Generation. Voyager was the only one, and Deep Space Nine I saw when they were like coming out.
Yeah.
So I saw those like as new episodes. But Deep Space Nine never grabbed me. And it was on at the same time as Voyager,
Yeah.
and
it's-
Voyager was way cooler.
Yeah. It was
And the original
crazy.
series sucks. I'm sorry, it fucking sucks.
Because
I'm
they
really
didn't-
happy for the milestones it made in like television history.
Totally.
And like the bars it broke, I respect the shit out of that.
Mhm.
But it's a terrible show.
Yeah.
It does not age.
Here's a metaphor for you. Like
We're getting a lot of flack in the Titan Square.
today,
Bring it.
yeah, Eric will beat you up. Today, you can get in a car and drive across the country. That is TNG. Or you can get on the back of a horse and spend the next 2 months pounding your ass into its spine to get over one state. And that is TOS. We thank you for your service, horseback riders. Thank you for delivering our mail. We have cars now.
Yeah.
And-
Well, and it's just the best cast. Hands down,
Yes.
best cast.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I mean, come on.
Like
So, here-
characters be damned, the actors.
Yes,
Like
yeah.
like seriously, no one else ever had. Why the fuck am I blanking on his name now?
Picard?
Captain. Yes.
Patrick Stewart.
See, I was
Patrick
mixing.
Stewart.
I was meant to call him Captain Stewart.
Captain
Stewart.
Stewart.
Yeah,
I'm
Jonathan
Captain Stewart.
Frakes, all of them. So let me ask you
Once
this.
he grew the mustache, once he grew the beard.
Yeah. Nope.
Because when his face was shaved, that show was shit.
Not
Oh,
good.
Riker?
Yeah.
Riker? Yeah,
so,
Yeah.
so then
Riker
you
has to have the
probably
beard.
then you're probably going to answer this question like I think you are. How do you feel about Natasha Yar? Be real. Be real.
I knew really like she wasn't on the show very long.
Right. So
But she was on more than once as a different person.
So do you see
Yeah.
something correlative, if not causative, that no beard and Natasha Yar recipe for disaster?
Yeah. Yeah, I can kind of see where you're coming from.
Mark says there's so much blasphemy going on right now. He says Voyager is awful.
What? No.
And then he named
How-
all the
Mark,
people
wait.
from the Star Wars.
Time out.
Okay.
We have to stop this show. How, Mark, please.
But he's Star Wars all the way, Mark.
Whatever. Here's the thing. Star Trek, if you say, Mark, you especially, I know you as a human. You love cheesy horror movies. So how can you look at the cheese of Voyager and see that as a block of cheese on us inside a box that contains Star Trek? How can you not love that?
Chakotay.
Chakotay. Get to the warp room
Star
or
Wars
something.
is greater than Star Trek original, greater than Next Gen, greater than the rest of Trek is meh.
Listen, this isn't a Godzilla versus King Kong debate. They are completely different multiverses, right? You can have Star
Yes.
Trek in one universe and Star Wars in another, and I refuse to let them sully each other's waters.
Okay, and I'm gonna say it as a Star Wars fan, you cannot just have Star Wars and then break like every individual piece of Star Trek into like individual bite-sized pieces.
Right.
Because Star Wars does not work like
There's
that.
like 80 movies.
I know. That's
Yeah,
why I go completely.
and they are
off.
not created equal.
No.
He says the fact that Voyager couldn't get home was so dumb.
But that's the MacGuffin.
Yeah.
Hello? Like, that's like saying, why are the people in the slasher flick so stupid? Don't they know they're going to get killed? If they knew,
Yes.
if they were self-aware, there'd be no movie.
I mean, Janeway and Chakotay turned into salamanders in an episode.
No, not Chakotay. Paris.
Oh, Paris.
Yeah.
Whatever. They
Paris.
turned into salamanders. Like,
yeah, like that
this is
Voyager.
entertainment.
Voyager is Star Trek with its balls out from start to finish. It is insane. It's got everybody's favorite space clown, Neelix. It's got everybody's favorite everything. Like Tuvok.
Okay, they had Neelix, but there was Guinan. In
know.
everything
Yes.
that
But-
Voyager had,
You
Yeah.
cannot
Yeah,
hold
better.
Neelix to Guinan's
No.
yardstick. It's
I will
impossible.
say Quark was better than Neelix.
Really? How dare you,
Yes.
sir? How
Easily.
dare you?
Easily, Quark was better than Neelix.
So you like your side characters as more anti-heroes.
Well, in the terms of like the person who's supposed to be like the sympathetic ear, I like it when for once they're not like a genuinely nice person.
Oh, man. Mark is good. Mark says, worst Star Wars, greater than
No.
best Star Trek.
How
Okay,
dare
you
you?
were-
Oh my
you were-
God.
You could not be more incorrect about that.
Is-
'Cause I've seen the holiday special, and that is some horse shit.
Yeah. If moderator Kayla is here, I need some reprimandation happening.
She was in agreement that Star Wars,
Oh
she
my
was a Star
God.
Wars fan, but she hasn't said anything since. So.
Listen. You cannot.
I will
hold-
say that the best 4 Star Wars movies are better than the best Star Trek.
Listen.
But
that's
once
like
you get to
saying-
the 5th movie,
Here, instead of saying Star Wars is better or worse than Star Trek, let's put that in perspective and say that like every Steven Seagal movie is better than a Kick in the Nuts. Let's say
It's true.
maybe.
I mean, I don't have nuts, but I wouldn't want to be kicked.
They're two different experiences, though. Like Star Wars is a mythological tale that happens to be set in a futuristic past in a galaxy far, far away and a long time ago. Whereas Star Trek is a completely different itch to scratch. Like Star Wars is fantasy and adventure. Star Trek is logical, deduction, reason, ethics. It's just people
it's
working
just
together.
it's just super sci-fi, and people I think unjustly put Star Wars into sci-fi. I don't think it's sci-fi. I
It's
think it's fantasy. It's a fantasy soap opera.
Yeah.
Basically.
It's like
And-
saying Lord of the Rings is better than Star Trek. They're completely different animals.
Mm-hmm.
Because Star Wars is Lord of the Rings.
Kayla says the holiday special has the first Boba Fett.
It's true.
Yeah, and we don't talk about that for a reason.
It also has the first Lumpy. Huh? You wanna
It
keep
had
Lumpy?
a first a lot of things that were also the last of a lot of things.
Yeah. The first accidental fall off the tree. First OSHA violation on the planet of Tatooine.
Yeah,
You got
yeah.
to see that.
It wasn't the first. It was just the first documented.
Yeah, first document I should have said. Yeah, but the Ewoks don't keep records. They're little bears. They're not writing anything down.
Mark says, I like Star Trek, but Star Wars is like life.
Right, but if Lord of the Rings is your life, then yeah, I understand.
For some people, it is. Tolkien is a little too wordy for my tastes.
Well, it's like the people that are Harry Potter heads. Like
Heads.
that's their thing.
And
That's like their Star Wars.
Yeah, everybody is. It's all the same stuff. It's just a different flavor. You know, 'cause
Yeah.
And I'm not going to knock anyone for their flavor. And I get on most of them. I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, but I don't shit on people who like it. I don't try to yuck someone's yum unless their yum is like being a Nazi.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, then-
I will wholeheartedly yuck their yum.
but then who
But
can
you
hold
know,
that against you?
If you think that Babylon 9, 5, whatever.
Deep Space
If you think
Nine.
that's the greatest science fiction show, or you're really into Dune, I hate Dune.
Whoa, let's talk about Dune. No, let's talk about here.
God, let's please not.
Let's not talk about Dune. Let's talk about this. Specific character. I want to get since you were like whatever, because Natasha Yar usually brings out a big yes or a big no but you're like
I feel she's inconsequential to the greater scheme of things in that show.
Yeah, that's
like
I think a white bread.
The best point of Tasha Yar, and I think the biggest impact she had on the show was showing Lieutenant Commander Data's inclination towards humanity.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Not only that, I'll give you that experience. Her role in that turned up to 11 is when they bang.
Well, yeah,
and I hate to be like that. Like, yeah, the girl's role on the show is best when she was fucking in. Like, that's not the way I want to be about that.
Because,
but in the reality of that show, that is kind of like
right. But
her death didn't even.
No,
it didn't really carry any weight on the show.
No,
but she died and she was gone.
Yeah,
and
because she wanted out. But that's political. Like inside the life and the times of the show, the bang was just a manifestation of the relationship. It wasn't meaningless. Like it wasn't action movie like quick in and out. Like, hey, you're my love interest now. Like it had been building. And she was trying to teach a robot how to, what is love? What is emotion? So it was a payoff. It wasn't like a throwaway thing where it's like, yeah, she's the lady and she's got to bang the machine. No, it was a relationship that they both equally entered into. It's the future.
It wasn't just something they were like, oh shit, we got to fill 10 minutes.
Yeah. It's the 24th century, guys. They are completely autonomous. Like, hopefully by then everybody is whatever. Because Data gets to be himself.
So,
well, I gotta ask. I'm sorry, but have you ever heard of a musical artist by the name of Voltaire?
Yes.
Okay, so you know the Sexy Data Tango.
If you hum a few bars.
Because he's fully functional and anatomically correct.
Yeah.
That song. Anytime I think about Natasha Yar, that is all that comes into my head.
Because that's how she describes Data. It's a perfect, because
that's how he describes himself.
Oh, that's right.
Like, she's like, "Are you capable?"
Right.
I'm fully functional.
And
anatomically correct. There's that pause before it. And anatomically correct. And Brent Spiner's delivery of that line,
gold.
Chef's kiss.
Well, he's the perfect Data. He
really is. He fucking nailed that role. Like, he killed it as Data and as Lore and as like the 20 other characters he played on that show.
Dr. Nooney and
Brent Spiner is the man.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They needed to feel out Natasha Yar, and she, God knows where we would be if she was like, yeah, I'll stay. Because Worf would never have fleshed out.
Right.
Probably. Or he wouldn't have gotten there as fast.
Well,
who knows?
I never even thought about it like that, but yeah, there's definitely a strong line.
Because she was Worf before Worf was Worf. She was the head of security.
Yeah.
And, I understand.
It's easy to forget that because Worf was such a fucking mainstay on the show, but no, you're absolutely like.
He was just a security officer, and then he, got to blossom as a character. Where would Michael Dorn be?
So,
you know what I mean?
The typing square is going crazy.
Let's hear it.
I'll skip a bunch of this stuff because we're not even on the topic anymore. And then Mark says, I once accidentally insulted Denise Crosby at a convention.
Uh-oh.
But he hasn't gone any farther than that. But Kayla says, yes, Voltaire. And then she says, a swear that I don't know what it's supposed to say. The Ocampa, I want to go home. That's her. Is it part of the song, probably, Kayla? Because it's a bunch of...
I don't know.
So I'm waiting for Mark to...
We're all living in different times.
Describe
at the same time.
his insult.
Well, if you've heard much Voltaire, there's it's not always nice.
And back to like Star Wars about the holiday special. I guess B. Arthur is on it.
Yeah, she is.
And she sings.
Harvey Korman, I think, is on it. Not Harvey Korman, right? Yeah.
Yep. But you know what Star Wars movies are not known for? Singing. or acting in general.
Sir Alec Guinness did a
and
good job.
I can say Did he though?
For what he was given, like he was checked out, man. The fact that he is giving nothing and outperforming everybody, come on.
I will say he definitely gave some good lines, but man, that lightsaber duel.
No,
If you look at it in the context of literally every other lightsaber duel that
Right.
ever happened in the entire franchise, is horseshit.
because it was still being a pioneer.
Because they're just like tink,
yeah,
tink.
because it was a product of its time. They didn't have
That
they
was
didn't have the
terrible.
Matrix. They didn't have Kung Fu class. They just had fencing and sort of medieval swords play.
And I will say, is not even a fan of the prequels. I'll air that for our Star Wars fan. I like the first three. I didn't actually hate Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, or whatever the hell that one's called.
Sure.
I didn't care for Revenge of the Nerds.
So Mark
Nerds!
Mark says I asked her for how much her autograph was, and when she told me, I said maybe later, and she got really insulted. How much was it?
$25. That's my bet. Maybe 50.
I'm gonna say 125.
I'm gonna say 70.
75 or 70?
70.
70. Okay. It sounded like you were gonna go.
74.
No, I thought about 75, but then I wanted to stop at 70.
Place your
Because I think
bets.
we're doing a Price is Right kind of system.
Yeah.
Closest without going over.
So in 4.5 minutes, we'll see
70.
what Mark
Yeah,
says.
we'll see what happens.
Actually, I changed it to 68.
How dare you?
Oh, then I want 123.
Fair.
Shall we try another song while we wait for the typing score to catch up and everything to sort of boil over with the Star Wars stuff?
Yes.
Hold on, let me.
Let's see what happens here. Hey, look, there's a record. You're holding it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got one of
Let's see
those.
what song we want to play.
lycanthropy.
Yeah,
that is not a good one for this format.
for acoustic. No.
He
Here are my-
doesn't remember how much.
Here
He's
are
sorry.
my top 3 songs. Oh, wow, it's the unimportant part. Top 3 songs of this album: Mothman is Real, Lycanthropy, and I think it's the third place is a tight squeeze between Yesterday and Rock and Roll Ain't Nice.
Does that song work acoustically?
That's the thing about rock and roll, baby. It's not very nice. You got to try it.
No.
It might kill you.
You asked for it,
It's
so
not nice.
I'm gonna do it. And if this sucks, it is entirely your fault.
Haha, peer pressure. I did it.
Score 1 for Dave.
Excellent. Flawless victory. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Broken streets are littered with pride. Said they pay, but I guess they ain't lied. Took my thoughts and they're giving me nothing. May as well have just died. What a pity, don't stand a chance. 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 Here's the thing about rock and roll, baby, is it ain't very nice. Here's the thing about rock and roll, baby, they ain't gonna die twice. Quit my job and I max my credits. Pencil dick wings taking my credit. Catching my checks, living my life. But they say, hey man, don't run it. What a pity, don't stand a chance. 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 Here's the thing about rock and roll, baby, it ain't very nice. That's the thing about rock and roll, baby, they ain't gonna die twice.
And then that song repeats. So
Works for me.
that wasn't so bad.
No, it was good. And we got to hear the my favorite dickweed line.
Yeah, a lot of our songs, I really need to write words past like the second half of it. So most of the time it's like a bridge that's often instrumental, and then like a redo of the chorus.
Yeah, but that's the thing about rock and roll. Just
That's
kidding.
the thing about rock and roll. Yeah, I saw it coming.
But the whole point of the lyrics is just to convince us to keep listening to the song, and if the song has lived as long as it needs to be,
Funny enough, the song was to like kind of bitch about a former band that had like taken a song that I wrote by myself and then like went on with it. But then in that very same breath, I've absolutely done the same thing.
I mean, you can't identify a problem without being the problem at some point.
You really haven't, because like on that record, there's a song called Hangover Song.
Yes.
And that band, that's from a band that I used to be in North Carolina called the Semantics.
Oh, you stole that?
I did a little bit.
It's
It's fine because no one else was playing it,
Mhm.
and I talked to the person who wrote it, and they're like, whatever. Same thing with All I Know.
Really?
All I Know was a song that the band that was the precursor to Sloth Fist that I tried to get up going, and it didn't work out for whatever reason. Like that was one of the songs we wrote there, and once again, no one was using it. And that one actually went through like 2 bands before it got to Sloth Fist.
Oh.
But no one ever recorded it, so
It's fair game.
it was ours.
Yeah.
Phipps wrote that.
Really?
Woo.
Yes, that Phipps wrote that song.
Legendary.
It's a good song.
Is
And
it
it
got a-
was like,
Yeah.
it was way too good of a song to just leave on a floor somewhere. It deserved to be recorded. And I think we did it as much justice as we can.
Well, that's what you get for being a god of probability. Odds were he was going to write a killer song.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's written a lot of killer songs. That's another thing you got to know about Phipps. Hell of a musician.
I'm learning more about Phipps every day.
Mm-hmm.
He can play a guitar like a motherfucker. He can rip, he can shred. He does the whole like slash thing where he like puts it up on his dick.
Oh, yeah.
And just, like wails on it. He's got the whole fucking thing down. He's wearing his fucking aviator glasses. Les Paul strung down low.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's got it figured out.
The nerdier you are, the higher you wear your instrument. And mine is like right under my chin, man. When I play bass, it's got to be up high because I don't.
I do wear my bass higher, and I can actually demonstrate that for you.
Now, why is that, do you think? Is it our body mechanics? Is it the size of the neck? Because I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, the bass guitar is a much beefier instrument than your regular guitar 9 times out of 10.
So this is my bass, and this is where it sits on me. Like my guitar was kind of down here.
Yeah. And that's low
This
for
is up
me.
here on my belly.
Yeah, that's low for me. Like my right arm when I play and I pluck is almost literally at a 90-degree angle.
I can't do it that high because that like hurts my elbow.
I keep moving it up and down to try and find the sweet spot. I haven't found it yet, but it's been a very annoying journey.
But Mark gives me shit for wearing it that high because Mark, he wears his shit way down here.
Yeah.
And God bless him for it.
Metal and punk bassists wear their basses on the floor. And I
I
don't,
can't do it.
because
I'm 6'3". I can't stoop that. I got a bad back from working at UPS, man. I can't do that shit.
bad back. Yeah, but I don't know what about punk and metal makes you want to like. Something about it is like, you know what? I'm going to be a punk rock bass player because I want a big piece of wood resting on my right ankle all the time.
Well, is it easier to like shake your head and your hair when it's lower, when your instrument is lower, so that you can
Not
like
I
bend?
wouldn't know about that.
yeah,
Well,
that's a little out of his milieu, but I think it's an aesthetic. Like if you're doing a punk rock thing, you have to exude the ultimate I don't care attitude. And the lower your bass is, the more you're like, fuck it. Like, this is how I play. It's really annoying, but it's my way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, but I'm not particularly interested with like looking cool
I did
or
notice.
like or being cool in general. Like I don't really give a fuck what the majority of people are gonna think about me or what I do or how I am.
But that makes you bulletproof.
right.
I'm just
That
I'm
makes you
doing a
pumped.
thing that makes me happy. And if other people want to dig it, that's cool, but I'm not going to go out of my way to like for that.
Listen, you were not called the guru of rhythm for no reason. Like you are one of those dudes who is, not completely like an enlightened person. You're not completely in the dark, but you're moving through, teaching what you teach and doing what you do and knowing what you know and cutting out all the bullshit.
I try. You can't always get it out. Oh, I will have you know, and this will probably make you real happy. The one of the last songs Sloth Fist has written, it's unrecorded or on anything right now, and it might change past now. But it's called Cut Through It, and it is actually about driving truck.
Ooh.
Because you said about cutting through something, and I just brought that to my head.
I will listen to any song you write about driving a truck. There's no way around it. What were we talking about before that, though?
Being punk
Oh,
rock.
yeah, being cool. That's right.
I don't know shit about that.
But that's the thing. It's always like, oh, how do you... The people who care the least have the most power. Like, if you don't give a shit about what people in your vicinity do, think, or whatever, they will be impelled to find out how you do it.
And we've garnered some success from that. Now, to be fair, there is something for being one of the cool people, because I feel, and I'm not trying to like throw bombs at anyone specifically's direction, but there are bands, especially around us, that have gotten to do things that I wish I could have done simply for the fact that they know someone that like they're hip. And like that's just the thing in life. That's not just in this music scene. That's that's in your work. That's
the
in
nature
your play.
of
that's capitalist existence for most part, and it's
human
just
existence
for the most part. And I don't know that people in huts in the abandoned world care so much about that.
Well, no, not necessarily about that, but I guarantee you there's someone in a hut whose friend was bequeathed a better hut by someone he knew, and that other person feels slighted.
Yeah,
it's human.
Jealousy is a whole other ballgame, and I get it. I got salt just like everyone else does, but
you just got
sometimes you get things just because you are who you are, and that's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, because that's you need those people though, Eric. You need those people who get handed everything in your life, so you can say, that's the extreme. That's the thing you don't want to be, and that's why your music. That's why everybody who is on this show and who will ever be on this show will be a genuine, sincere human being. Because I don't like whatever. I've had people on who got famous because XYZ. We had a singer on who got, her gimmick was, I don't want to say her, I probably already gave it away if you're a fan of the show, but when they came on, were completely checked out and didn't give a fuck about the art they were pushing, nor even in the experience of interacting with another human being. Done with that. So
see, it's the opposite way for me, because I know like I could go out here and try to kiss ass and try to like do this or that. But ultimately, like it's not gonna matter if someone already had their mind made up.
Well, and you gotta be you.
This was what they wanted. I'm never gonna be that.
Yeah.
So
why fight it?
I just fucking pushed myself out here genuinely, and some people are gonna dig it, other people are gonna hate it, and que sera, sera.
Guru Eric, everybody. That's just it, man. Like everybody who you're going to be watching, viewers at home, they will be vetted for genuineness and sincerity from obviously the mistakes of the past onward. But whatever, like you can sit there and wherever you are, sit there and have sour grapes, but I guarantee no one is as invested in their work. Like their little buzzing bees are there for whatever reason. All the people who are here for Sloth Fist are here for Sloth Fist. We're not here because we know a guy. We're not here because you know a guy. We're here because Sloth Fist kicks ass. And
that's been my experience. That's really been my experience. Is people that like us just like us for like a guttural You know, because we're not putting on airs, and I really love that about us. And you know, we're opening a show on Sunday, and that's upsetting because we're opening. But at the same time, when our attitude, we rehearsed the shit out of this show. We drilled for this show, and we're gonna come out just swinging.
Yeah,
and we're gonna make it as hard for anyone who plays after us. We're gonna make their lives hard.
Yeah, here's the game.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, here's the game you have to play. They say, okay, you're going in first. The rules of this game are you have to go up first. The rules don't say you have to suck. So if you come in and blow everybody's ass on their elbows and make the venue or whoever regret putting you in such a position, you know, that's on them.
Yeah, precisely. And that's all you can do with that. Because like you can either be divas and be like, no, we're not going to play first.
How dare you? Where are my green M&Ms?
You know, like, or you can just make the best out of it and just be like, okay, let's go in and kill it, and then they won't offer it like that again. And that's what we do. That's been our game the whole way through, and that's the game we will continue to push.
Here's something everyone can relate to. Everybody wants to be Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman, right?
Oh, they bet they do.
Everybody wants to walk into that Gucci store, that Prada store, flash the cash and be like, bitch, I was only a prostitute yesterday. Woo! And you're gone. Everybody should, you know, if you're at that point in life, it's a nice feeling if you're invested.
I really want to use that as a lyric, by the way. Bitch, I was only a prostitute yesterday. Like, I'm going to have to write that down.
And say, I take PayPal.
Yeah, I take PayPal, Venmo, Zelle. No, just kidding. But yeah, everybody needs to at some point have that experience, and it all hinges on you not caring. If you walk in and somebody treats you like shit, walk out, walk in the next day with confidence, they'll lick your ass and you go, psych, see you later. It's the ultimate in disconnecting and also being a dick.
Yeah, and I'm not even trying to be a dick, and I'm not trying to flaunt nothing in no one's face. I'm not trying to even be like.
But we have to admit we're human.
But I am human, and I do want more. I always want more.
Yeah.
And like that's how my brain is programmed, and that's the only way I know how to go for it.
But you have to sort of harness that to be a creative person. You need to want more, because if you want more, you're pushing your boundaries.
And then, you know, there's some people who want more and they decide that they like pay some Russian bots to give them like, you know, 20,000 likes or whatever. And there's some people who want to be better, so they like hone their craft.
Yeah. And here's
that's the way we've taken it, I feel.
Here's what you were promised in every art form. If you give it your all, here's exactly what you're promised. Dick, you got nothing. Because like I bring him up a lot, but H.P. Lovecraft was a man stricken with disease, tragedy, poverty, but he kept doing what he loved until the day he died, of all the things I just mentioned, and was not recognized, you know, until 20, 30 years after his death. Does that make his life any less meaningful? Even if he in the moment was like, meh, who, you know, right now, Sloth Fist, it's not where maybe you want it to be. And maybe it won't happen until like an alien comes down, finds this LP and is like, whoa, and blows the minds of everyone on a different planet. Doesn't matter.
That's what it is. And, you know, I don't even care about a legacy per se. You know, I don't care about being remembered when I'm dead. Because I'm pretty sure my concept of death is when I'm dead and whatever.
I mean, we can get into it.
So what do I care about my mortal coil?
Exactly.
I just want to try to have some fun while I'm here.
Yeah, uncoil while you're here. Loosen up.
That's all I want. You know, I'm just trying to make the best of a bad situation.
Yeah. Here's the thing. As much as I like to do self-deprecating garbage, everybody watching this right now and the people who will watch it later, I am emotionally invested in 9 times out of 10. There's no new people stumbling along and finding this, and I don't care because it's not for them. I do this for me, and if you come along for the ride, great. If you come away with this show being like, not my cup of tea, I don't think I'll pick up a Sloth Fist album. I can't make you, Eric can't make you.
Yeah, nah.
Unless I give him your address. Then he will make you. But all I can do is show everybody how cool it is. That's all you can do.
And I appreciate every single person who has ever thrown us any kind of
Energy,
so much as a
calorie burn.
thumbs up, like anything. That's why I do this shit. Like I have no delusions of grandeur. My band isn't pretty enough to be. Well, I would say MTV, but they don't show music
Yeah,
there
where-
anyway.
where-
Like where the fuck do you go to? I guess a YouTube star is
Yeah.
like the way forward now. But we're not pretty. We're not young.
No, you're full of
It's not
character.
about that.
And
It's
experience.
about I got some shit in me and I want to let it out. And if someone wants to vibe with it, cool. If not, that's also cool. I just want to get it out. Like that's all I care about.
Yeah, you're a stone in a pond. You must fall in. You cannot not
Like-
fall in. You have to play music.
Like I have that record right there
I saw
because
that.
I like that record.
Whoa.
I listen to that record because I think it's good. And like if I don't think my record's good,
Who will?
why would I ever expect that anyone else would think that my record's good? You know what I
But
mean?
here's the thing though. You cannot be the judge. If you make something, you have to release it. You think it sucks?
Mhm.
Someone is, because every movie is someone's favorite movie. If the shittiest movie you ever saw is someone's favorite movie, and no matter how much regret anyone involved with it has, and even if it's everybody, here's a story I told before and I'll tell it again because I love telling the same story over and over again. So as far as this show goes, I pulled a stunt where I did something. We did a morning radio full on like wacky morning zoo type crap. And I forced everybody involved to do it. Everybody hated it. My co-host hated it. Krista hated it. Everybody, the audience hated it, but I loved it. And it's one of my favorite episodes to this day, but it's like eating a poison apple because I know everyone else thinks it'll kill them, and I just take a huge bite. It's like eating an onion in front of somebody. Maybe I do it for the shock value, but I also legitimately enjoy the terribleness of it.
I know something about that. My very first musical act was it was just called ATM.
Okay.
And that's all it was. We made it stand for lots of different things over our like 5-year.
One of those guys.
But the whole premise of the band is we played like 2 shows, but those weren't important. We would record music.
Yeah.
We would write a list of song titles that we like pulled out of our ass. And then we would record those songs knowing nothing about the songs other than the title. So we would like,
we do a similar
okay,
thing on this show.
this, and this song's called, I'm trying to think of ones that won't get me in trouble because this was very during a very unfortunate part of my life where I was kind of like an edgelord.
Okay.
So I dare not repeat some of the
All right, but
things
we
I
get
said
the
there.
concept,
Yeah. So they would be like humorous, often not
Wildly
very
offensive.
nice.
Right.
Yes, very, very. Like, have you ever heard the band Anal Cunt?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, some way in that vein, except it wasn't just like screamy, whatever the hell you call what they put on record.
Right.
Well, we were trying to be dicks. We were trying to offend people. Not that anyone was listening.
Right, but you wanted to try out that end of the spectrum.
Which makes it a lot easier. But it was my foundation as like a musician. But we would just, write the song. It's like, what is this song? Okay, this is like a metal song. This one's like a blues song. Mind you, none of us are blues musicians, so we know fuck all about the blues. But, like, just record all in different genres, and I would just, like, improvise the lyrics, even though I didn't know how to sing.
Right.
Still don't. But it was
Even
just the whole process of just doing it, and, no one was ever going to listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
And thank God. I could never hold political office. And I shouldn't.
Right.
But it was just doing it, and fuck why.
Yeah.
That's just what I wanted to do.
You have outlined a perfect plan for everybody to follow. Like, if you want to try something, set up a low stakes situation. Tell yourself you're never going to release it. Like, if I were now knowing what I know, if I could go back in time and restart this show, the first 2 months I would have just kept in-house, never released, and had the pilot after I had my head pulled out of my ass. Because the grandest schemes of mice and men, Horatio, like, it started out with the grandest of ideas and the most moving of parts, and it eventually settled to what I was comfortable with and the least resistance it offered me.
Mhm.
But the first whatever, and some say the gears have not still fully engaged, but we're getting closer. But you have to do that alone in a room with just some friends and zero stakes.
It really does help. It really kind of helps you kind of find what you're trying to do.
It's Dungeons and
'cause
Dragons, man.
It's not so easy because you can write it down on a piece of paper and be like, I want to do this. But then like you put it into practice and you're like, well, maybe it's more like this.
Right. But like I said, it's Dungeons and Dragons. You were pretending, quote unquote, to be musicians. You were musicians. When you're pretending to be a druid, you're a druid because up here you are. It's a little vain to think that.
It really does help though. Just getting yourself at like
because you checked
adjusted and like inspecting what you expect.
Yeah.
It really does kind of clarify your position on things.
You were RPGing a musician and you won because you became one.
I mean, some might call that winning.
Yeah, of course it's winning. If you set out to do something.
Well, you know what? It's a Friday night. I'm off work. I'm drinking a fine Belgian beer. I'm sitting shooting this shit on an internet show. And you know what? Life is good.
It's pretty good, right? When you think about it. Here's the
Life's
thing.
pretty good.
I hope everybody can recognize now. I wanted everybody to get a nice big dose of Eric in the flesh. And this won't make any sense to you, Eric, so I apologize. But Eric is also Andy. If you get me, you are just a hair's breadth away from one of my other friends and co-hosts of this show, like down to like the beard and the mannerisms. Like there's so much involved. Everything is everything, and that's why, what I'm trying to point out here is like the desirable traits are the same across all the people you like.
Yeah,
isn't that
I've noticed something like that.
Yeah, because all the people who are dicks, you say, well, they're a dick because of this. And you go, well, that other person was a dick because of that too. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
All the nice people do similar things.
Yeah. Go figure. It turns out that like there's general rules of conduct that we expect as an individual human. And, you're either for it or you're against it.
Again.
Get it.
I ain't for it, I'm against it.
I ain't for it, I'm against it. Gosh darn it. Oh, so that brings up a nice segue. You're a Simpsons fan, obviously.
Clearly, I'm a Simpsons fan.
When did you fall off as a Simpsons fan? I fell off at the second episode of season 9.
Oh, I gave it a lot. I'm gonna say through season 14.
Oof, you are a stronger man than I.
I am, and I'm gonna say the quality did decline after 9. But I think there was still the average show quality was still good enough.
Can I give you?
You had some like stinkers, but you still had some really good ones after 9.
Yeah. Well, let me give you 2 words that will tell you what the breaking point was for me. Armin Tamzarian. When they broke canon and Principal Skinner became Armin Tamzarian, and at the end they were like, "Wink, wink, how surreal! It was essentially just a dream." Checked out. Sorry. Bye. I said.
So the level of like respecting canon and continuity and a show that clearly resets every week. I will give The Simpsons way more leeway with that than I will give like Star Wars with something like it, or even Star Trek, where it is like a canonical series. But The Simpsons is not canonical.
Right.
It is very clearly not canonical.
But so that was a clear exit strategy for yours truly, because you cannot be in love with a show for 40 years. And if you are, you're dead behind the eyes. So, you have to be kicked off of something at some point, because otherwise it gets stagnant and you're like, whatever. Like you can be a Kiss fan for 1,000,000 years like Mark. I don't imagine, and maybe I'm wrong, but there are some people who like to take a break from their obsession, their big number one hobbies, to go gallivanting off into other things.
I don't know. So all of my conscious life, I've been a fan of Star Wars.
What about your unconscious life?
Well, I couldn't tell you about that. I wasn't conscious for it.
Damn it.
But as long as I remember, I've loved Star Wars. And I still love Star Wars. Now, to be fair, do I watch it like 10 times a year like I did when I was a kid? No.
It's a
But
different
do I
animal,
still
Mark.
but I still
Not Mark.
do I love thinking about it? And do I still probably watch it once a year? Yeah, absolutely I do.
It's a different animal though, Eric, because when you have the first 3 Star Wars, A New Hope, blah, 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 those don't change. Like a long-running series has to kick you off eventually because it's moving through storylines and burning through ideas. The New Hope,
What's
A
the
New
same
Hope
thing
is
as
A
a
New Hope is A New
band
Hope.
that's been a band for 40 years? Can you name a band that's been a band for 40 years and you like every one of their records?
No, but the ones who stay together the longest stick with the shit that works. You know what I mean? And music
Some
gets
of them do.
right, but music gets that pass. Like if you're in a show, a TV show, you cannot. Like, there's no such thing as a concert for a show. Kiss can go from place to place to place and play rock and roll all night and party every day 1,000,000 times over their lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch The Simpsons again, it's a rerun. No money to be had. There's no incentive. So we have to keep making more and more and more.
You still make money off those reruns, though.
Right,
and
but
just
not as
like
much.
Kiss makes money off of I Want to Rock and Roll All Night.
Yeah, but they have to go and
It's a very
sing it.
similar concept, honestly.
Yeah, but they have to go and sing it because you say, well, record sales don't push anymore. You have to go and perform live. So syndication gives you a penny versus the new episode, which gives you $10.
Yeah, but
A New
the
Hope never
penny
changes.
you get for free.
Say what?
And TV shows are a different ball game, also.
I'm
than
saying
like
we keep
other things like
trying to compare animals to fruit, and it's not
Yeah.
working. I'm
yeah,
telling
you can't. Because those dicks on Friends get like $1 million every time one of those episodes goes up on TV. And like that show wasn't even good. And I will fight anyone who says contrary. Friends fucking suck.
You heard it here first. An unassailable fact brought to you by Guru Eric Daniels.
I will die on this hill.
But there was a monkey.
It's a bizarre place to make that stand.
Okay, that's just like people, and it's a lot of guys that do this, but they like a show because there's a pretty woman on it.
Just like, hey, guess what?
Like-
Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
Okay, like, cool. There's a pretty woman. Like, I'm here to watch a comedy. Like, I don't care that she's got good hips or whatever it is. That's
we live
not
in a
going to
world,
make me
though.
enjoy a comedy more.
Yeah.
I'm trying to laugh.
In a
Funny people
In a world.
will make me laugh more. You know,
But there is an audience for low depth content.
and that's Friends. And that's Friends because they put Jennifer Aniston's boobs right up there. And to her credit, I'm not going to hate on them, but like, that's not a reason to watch a sitcom.
A shitcom.
Humor is why you watch something with comedy in the name. And that show had none.
No, but neither is daytime television. But nobody has any complaints about the Wendy Williams show because no one watches it. And the people who do watch it,
What is that even? Like,
I don't know. Is it
what
still a thing
is
that
the
might be a
goal
bad
of
reference?
that?
I have no idea.
what? I can't fathom that. I watched that.
Do
because
you
I
want a
thought-
real answer?
I caught it on accident because I thought it was Wendy O. Williams from the Plasmatics, which I don't know how much you know about that, but she was badass. She would like saw chainsaw guitars in half.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Wendy
show.
Williams.
And so I thought it was that, and I was like, "Oh, this is not that at all."
No. But here's what it serves. There are people out there who are the worker bees. They're the warriors of the aforementioned Dungeons and Dragons. They are your soldier worker bees who need to be told what to do and need something to fill the silence as they mop the floors or go about their day. And daytime television is that. They say, well, it's too quiet. So you get a know-nothing, two-dimensional character going, it's time to woo, and yeah, my guest is yippity woo, and we got a mop that does a thing. And no one's listening, and even the people sitting in the audience, they're checked out, because every time you see it pan across them, 90% of them, are thinking, I need to pick up butter.
Is it
Home.
Is it time to go yet?
But then Wendy Williams goes, oh, please welcome C-list celebrity. And you go, woo! And then you sink back into your dead hide.
Mark says Wendy O. Williams' album is filled with Kiss members.
Oh, I'm sure. Kiss gets around, man. You don't stay around and stay relevant by doing nothing. Kiss.
I'm really
works.
sad that I sold my Iceman guitar. I used to have a Paul Stanley guitar, but not anymore, unfortunately.
With objects and treasured memories are like waves. They wash over us and then they wash back out to sea.
I'm a slut with guitars. I'll admit it.
If you're into something, though, you have to be, because if you're really passionate about a hobby, you want to move through all the different flavors of that hobby, which is incredibly expensive.
Yeah, David's got like how many
Right
cameras do you have?
now, whoa.
A lot
I
of
was
cameras.
I was going to keep it in house with music, and I've got
okay.
4 bass guitars.
Yeah.
So
I've got 3 right behind me.
I know that's what brought the idea to my mind. But yeah, that's the thing. When you're interested in something, you want to screw around with all the weird facets of it. I was staunchly an anti-Fender person until I was like, screw it, I'm going to try a Fender. Nice. I like it. My favorite
I
bass.
don't like their guitars, but their basses.
Have you gotten your hands on the Aerodyne Jazz bass?
I have actually. Remember I was telling you about a band called Blood Red River.
Yes. Awesome band.
That dude, he had an Aerodyne jazz bass, and I got to play it sometimes. And I've been looking for one, but they want a shitload of money for them now. They used to be cheap as hell.
It's a thing of beauty because it's for scarcity, not to be this conspiracy theorist, but the same thing happened to the Ernie Ball Music Man. They were like a beautiful, cheap, affordable bass that was so pleasing to the eye and pleasing to the fingers. It felt so right in my hand, like it was made for my pathetically misshapen body. And they're like, you know what? Dave found the money. Let's stop the presses. I can't even find a used one.
No, they same thing happened to the used like 80s era Gibson. It used to be that everyone hated 80s Gibson guitars.
Mm-hmm.
But all of a sudden, recently, they've all like skyrocketed in price.
Somebody check in with Michelangelo Baby.
There's a guy on the internet, and his name is Trogley, and he does things where he like reviews guitars and he like breaks them down into the individual parts, and then like puts them back together. And he's like, "Oh, actually, these 80s Gibsons are dope." And then everyone's like, "Oh, they are dope. Bye."
Yeah,
I used to get those shits for like $300. Now they're like $1,300.
But that in itself is the essence of Sloth Fist. It's a $1,300 guitar that is being sold for $300 right now. So get involved.
We're $300. Get in now.
Let's be real. If you were like, hey, you know what, fame is my goal, and you exceeded this show, that would be a bummer. But we don't have to worry about that. We're in this reality. So thank God for that. Namaste. Eric. Oh my God. We've been going for damn near 2 hours. So why don't we call it quits? I'm sure people need to go to bed. I'm sure, Eric, you have a life to return to.
I gotta be really proud of myself because I haven't smoked a cigarette in 2 hours. So like that's really good for me.
Hey,
nice.
Each victory is worth celebrating. Just don't celebrate with a cigarette.
Oh, that's a
celebration smoke. Look up the song "Nicotine" if you're wondering what's going on here. It's on the Sloth Fist
I write
album.
what I know, Fable.
And that's why you're genuine. So we're gonna wrap up the show, Eric. So you know how we did it on the podcast. We're gonna do it on live too. Give me a staff.
Okay, I'm second this time though, right? Like I thought I was last time, and that's what I fucked up.
Right, but don't worry about that. We're doing staff recommendations at this point.
Oh. I got a new one for you. Don't worry.
Give me one.
All right. So there's a band called Band Made.
Okay.
And they are also from Japan, just like the last one I recommended, because Japan apparently has really good music. They're a bunch of young ladies. They dress up in maid outfits, but they play badass rock and roll that they write and compose themselves. And you have every notion in your head of what it is. It's not that. Listen to it. You will not be disappointed.
Say the name
live
one more
video.
Time.
Band Made. Like a band made out of like maids that clean your house.
Oh, okay,
just think about that.
MAID.
It's not what you think it is. Look up a live video. Don't get one of the music videos. Live video. Okay. I promise you. You will not regret it.
All right. I will take your word on it because you are, the guru.
Don't take my word on it. Investigate. Inspect what I expect.
Right, but I need to take your word on it, so I will investigate. If I don't take your word on it, I will cease to investigate. Or, not even cease. I won't start.
I'm going to Facebook message you a video just so you do it.
Thank you. So, path of least resistance. If I make my goal to make you do it for me, swish. Krista, do you want to recommend something to our audience?
I've been doing a lot of recommendations these last few days. I don't know, pineapple Trulies, because they're pretty good, and that's what I'm drinking today.
Nice and refreshing.
Pineapple Trulies.
You know, if you're on a low carb diet and you still like to party on the weekends, hard seltzers are the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
I got some of those Topo Chicos in my fridge for Saturday.
Topo Chico?
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, they make. You do not have Topo Chico. It's a carbonated water, but they made it into booze, and it's the best seltzer booze that you can get.
How do you
Promise.
spell that? How do you spell that?
TOPOCHICO. Topo Chico.
Like literally how it sounds.
Well, because if you say, well, it like the Spanish spelling, I would say, okay, got it, locked in.
Oh, yeah.
But it could be beers and alcohols and everything have zany sounding and zany spelled names. So I don't want to go into the wilderness being like, can I get some this? And they go, what the fuck?
There could have been a silent Q in there.
And I can show you some shit like Meridzus, which is like the kind of weird beer I drink, but like Topo Chico is pretty common.
You're one of those beer hipsters or bipsters.
Do you like
Well,
drinking a Busch?
Not so much Busch, but I love like Pabst Blue Ribbon. I'll drink like Budweiser if I have to. That's fine.
Earnestly enjoy.
I'm not a snob about it, but I do like fancy Belgian beers because they do taste way better.
Right, and
yes,
no one stops you from eating a crappy meal every once in a while because you like to eat fine.
Look, I like Jack in the Box, but I also like to sous vide my steaks. So like
all you got to do is just sort of cut out the Jack in the Box eventually. It's not doing any favors.
It's not, but it's the same way as I am with food. I am with beer. Like I like the really nice stuff, but I'm not too good for the lower stuff.
But whatever, dude. Here's the thing, also, because you want to force everybody into everything. But if I say, hey man, that's not good for you, maybe that changes Sloth Fist. I don't want to jeopardize things in people that I can exploit. You know what I'm saying?
Don't worry, if my wife can't make me stop eating Jack in the Box, you stand no chance.
No, but you never know what chord will get struck by who. I don't want to accidentally awaken you some way, and I'm like, shit! It's whatever.
No, I fully understand when I put poison into my body, it's not good for my body.
Whew, okay.
I just don't give a shit.
Mark says he's going to go play a VR Star Wars pinball.
Why not play real life Star Trek basketball?
Why not go to bed? It's late.
Go to bed, Mark.
It's like almost 1 o'clock in
Turn
the
out the
morning out
lights.
there.
No story. No one's tucking you in.
Good night, Mark. It's nice to meet you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend.
I feel like everybody should know everybody. I don't know why automatically every time I assume when we have a musical guest, Mark knows them somehow.
See, I thought because it was Mark, it was my Mark.
Yeah, it's my Mark.
No, it's our Mark.
But it's not my Mark.
No,
everybody's got their own Mark. You don't want to leave your Mark. Though.
And we got Mark
even
from
with
Popeye.
The C,
Yeah, that's the weird. Yeah, whatever. We could go into everybody's weird coincidences. We're all gods of probability in our own weird way. My recommendation, however, this week, I don't know. I don't want to make mine weird or preachy or whatever. So if you want to pick up a new musical skill, do like I did and go with the bass. Do like Eric did and go with the bass, because you can get them for like $100 used on wherever, offer up, or walk into a Milano's or a wherever, because you don't care if you're going to jump in. Look at that flying V.
Nice.
And
get a bass. They're awesome.
4 notes, and it'll give you a direct connection to the rhythm, which is what you need. We don't need more guitar players. We need more people holding it down in the back.
Or play drums. Really, please play drums.
Or play drums. Drums is probably the most prohibitive for most people.
Please play drums.
But that you can't say because you say get a bass, it's $125. You say, get a drum kit. Depending on how many pieces, woo,
Dude, my cousin.
Look, if anybody wants to play drums, I will sell you drum set. Everything you need to play for $100.
Here we go.
Hit me up.
Offer up.
There you go. My cousin Marco, he's like, I don't know, 10 or 12 or something. He is freaking phenomenal at the drums, and he started years ago, and
all you gotta do is lock in.
He's amazing.
See that?
Crazy.
Everybody will say, "Oh, I would never do that. I could never outperform a 10-year-old." What? How dare you
Yeah.
think that of yourself?
I've seen lots of 10-year-olds that could run circles around me at everything I know.
Right, but if you tried, you could run circles around them.
No.
Bullshit.
Some people are just better than me, and that's okay.
I will slap you, Eric. Say goodnight, Eric. We're out of here. All right, guys.
It's been a pleasure.
And thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'm glad for however long you could stay. It was a blast. Eric, so much thank you. That's what I want to say.
So much thank you.
So much thank you for coming on for coming on the show. And you know how it is, guys. Until the next live, I've been Dave.
I'm Krista.
I'm Eric.
Bingo. Saying, you know what, guys, we'll catch you next. We'll catch you next.
Farewell,
week.
adieu.